Okay, happy Thursday, everybody. Let's get started. Kick it off. Markets just continue to rock. How's it going? How's everybody doing today? Welcome. This is our Thursday session. Hey, first person that was in that's put in the gold, GOLD, was Brandon S. APV, I'll give it to you too, because you really were the first, but Brandon, and that's kind of our thing on Thursdays, first person in, you type in gold, we'll give you a 30-day membership. That will also entitle you to come to the option seminar next Friday. All the information will be posted on the gold members page. Everyone else, get with harmonictrader.com, become a basic member right here, and it's this simple. I'll have more information on the basic members page about next week as well. But to get started, everyone needs to get with the TradingView platform. Send your username for a free 2-week trial to hpc@sr-analyst.com. One other side note, I was on Miss Teen Crypto yesterday. She's a really fantastic person. I enjoyed it. Thank you a lot. And check that interview over here on Twitter and subscribe, hit her up, subscribe to her channel. Appreciate that. For today, folks, the summer playbook continues. Big tech stocks continue. Here's Amazon. And that's not even in our top 5, but you can see what I'm getting at here. Lots of big patterns, just new highs for the year. And go back, this was a weekly, pretty sure, there you go. Big weekly bat pattern, so you tell me. No confirmation yet, and a massive bullish engulfing that off of that bat structure, target 2 is as valid as the reversal zone itself. Really important to know that. We started looking at 122.39, kind of blew through. Now we should get that acceleration, and this is one of many. A lot of the other ones like Microsoft and NVIDIA, just explosive. So major things are happening. This is probably one of the biggest market breakouts I've ever witnessed, no doubt. NASDAQ's up 34% for the year. That's strong. And it's July, and earnings haven't hit. So unless there's some kind of major surprise, you're looking at 35-40% for the year. Can that really go down? I don't know. Listen, before I get into any of that, we got to look at XRP absolutely mooning. So let's jump into the crypto first, because look at what's going on with XRP. In the last 6 hours, we have done a major move. So is this the next Bitcoin Cash? Got to get into this. I was on that show yesterday and I talked about setting up for next year. Well, if these things keep popping off like this, you're going to get this to really start to get going again sooner than later. I've always said September is the place for crypto. September 21st, we should be making massive progress. I was kind of pushing that off to December, but no, I think between now and September, crypto should start popping. This XRP chart, we've known all along, 45 was support, 55 is resistance. So we're above 55 resistance. But above 55 resistance, there's only one thing. And we know this is a massive pattern too. So how many of these have we seen? Multi-year harmonic patterns, weekly charts, yielding minimum target 1, target 2 moves. I don't care if it's a tech stock like Tesla, Meta, Amazon, or crypto like Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP. These do have consequences, and it's just a matter of how long. Is it a year before we realize that, or 3 months? But that's always been the target. That's the type 1 move. Let's see how we handle the immediate 55-cent resistance. You want to see this thing just blow through. At this point, go on the daily. Go on the hourly. And this is just at 12 noon. We finished that candle, that explosion candle. So absolutely huge. You've been looking for that. How long have you been looking for that? How many XRP people are in here? And big shout out to everybody in the chat. What's going on? APV, JTogs, Lawrence, Red Nozar, or Red Nose AR. I don't even know how you say that. Hugo Boss, Evan, Miss Stephanie, everyone else. Jax, what's up? I mean, come on. You guys got to get a little excited about that. I know you love crypto. We need action. We need this stuff to perk up. Speaking of perk, today's show is brought to you by coffee. Thank God. But this is great. That's really fantastic. Let's jump through and, XRP up 28%. Let's do the top 5, because on the show yesterday, I said we're dealing with this shark. And I thought 31, okay, to 28. The reason why I say 28 is because that would set up a 5-0 where you could have a launch pad. How many days are we going to stay up in this zone? Because it is getting to be impressive. By the way, you don't know it's going to hang in a zone at the terminal bar of the completion. But certainly by day 15 or 20, you're starting to say, okay, does this not want to go down for another little dip? Exact number of days, we're day 22 since that pattern completed, and you're essentially back where the terminal bar is at 30,800. We could go as high as 32. All right, on the top side here. But I laid this out yesterday on Bitcoin. I don't know how we really talked about Bitcoin. I think it's because she interviewed Michael Saylor a couple weeks ago. You should check that out. But It's a whole different ball game on Bitcoin above 32,000. That's where acceleration phase begins. But I think we're starting to see this in stocks. Are we entering an acceleration phase, or what's going to be the follow through here? Crypto needs to get going like this, like XRP. Personally, I think we're due in Bitcoin for a massive, 2-3 thousand day candle, an 8-10% 1 day move. Something pop this off. Just keep that in the back of your mind, because a big candle in this position would only trigger more follow through up to much higher levels. 37,200 is minimum. We're going to stay with that. See what happens here. I said that this pattern is probably in effect until the 21st, because that's your 30-day window. So if we pause for another week, don't be surprised. We could be at the options seminar next Friday and see things start to move. That's just, really good initial signs. That's Bitcoin. Number 2, Ethereum. Again, same deal. You probably drag 1800 as your support, and 2000 as resistance. That doesn't change. Maybe as low as 1700, something like that. But I see this thing just building and building and building at a high level. It's fairly impressive. It doesn't seem like a lot, but you really have to kick it to this weekly or even monthly chart that continues to hold higher lows week over week. Any little sell-off is quickly bought back up. That's a strong construction, folks, of early thrust. Not to mention the October low was a major confirmed structural low with some patterns there. And we know the deal that Ethereum above 2,000, above 2,100, it's all about the target one on, get to the crab pattern, if you will. There it is. Okay, there's the crab. 2,400. Just to be clear, once we crack this range, and we'll crack it, we go 2,400. And that's now as in the next 3 months. If I've got to fudge it and go to December, cut me a little slack, but I still say 2,400 is in insights. Any correction, you look for spots to buy it. Don't expect much. Number 3, Binance Coin, saving itself, trying to hold in there at 250 now, trying to come back off. Is this crab pattern going to hold? Like I said, been saying, I think if you want to be in BNB, you might as well go to BTC. Number 4, let's make it XRP, which we already looked at. But as a quick review, 60 cents, that's a great place to be. But that's only the beginning. It's after today. Talk to me about what we do on follow through of when we'll get to 95 cents. Number 5, so if this is happening, then I think it's time for Cardano. Look at Cardano, 31 cents. 31 cents on Cardano. I said 28 is something we really need to start considering. Well, it's 3-bar breakout, everything you want to see. It's time. It's time to start on these. Time to start on these. That's number 5 on Cardano. Let me highlight 1 or 2 other ones that, listen, if we're going to stop screwing around, then it's time to stop screwing around on things like Cosmos, because that's the 2 of 2 we've been waiting for at 855. There's a few things down there. All right, but if that was ever a spot to be looking for confirmation, structural low, let me get a better chart. We've said forever $9 is the place to look for. There's the drawings. There's everything we've looked at. We have to start considering that. And I've said this, I'll stick by this. Every day, every week, you get closer to the end of the year is a positive for crypto. So any correction pullback is buying against that increasing positive trend and notion. Here's compound, folks. This is popping. Are we going to break out above this and finally get to target 1 off the crab pattern? And when you get the whole history in there, you see what's possible. Like if this stuff's coming back to life, you got a whole range to work with. And it's kind of like a massively beaten down tech stock. So that's what's going on in some of those coins. And check out, speaking of coin, look at Coinbase now. 95 new highs for the year on Coinbase. That's a massive, massive breakout, folks. Massive. And we have patterns down here, all of that. I think in this kind of market, what's going on, and this kind of follow through, we go from 95 now, get out of the zone here. We go to 117. I mean, this is in play. I mean, this will be one of the stocks I talk about in our session for next Friday for longer term options. Because now this thing it's got absolute momentum and you're, cracking new territory. And so let's line up the 5-minute stuff and stay with that. Right, this was the last 5 minute. I mean, it was just 84 and change just from this morning. Hey. Big stuff in crypto. Finally. Finally. I mean, that's really what you need to see here. Kathy Wood sold yesterday. What did she sell, Carthago? Let me know. I didn't hear that. I've really actually been tuning out a lot of the news and the noise and even the Twitter. Just trying to avoid overexposure. Because of what I see here and what is taking shape, this is massive action. I would say this is historic action. Look at the weekly chart on coin. Come on. Forget about $50. You're 94 now. What are we going to do? Some of the pattern targets, so those patterns that were on the daily, those are minimums. 382. And with all of these crushed, beaten down concept stocks from the last bull cycle, just do your 382s off the low. Shouldn't change. A lot going on here. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of these stocks too. I'll have to get, when we jump over to NASDAQ, I'll get through that. But really quick, on these crypto stocks, folks, Riot's above 20, or was above 20 now. Okay, we have been talking about Riot for months to go to 32.38. How do you feel about that now? Mara. No, actually, Bit Digital. That's another one. Just big, ready to rock. Pause. Let's go. Continuation. I expect that to keep going. Minimum 1293. Stay with it. A few more. The sleeper is, I still haven't found anything in it, but I'm watching overstock.com. This is like one of these side crypto plays. Had a little 4-hour oversold, but not a heck of a lot yet. The other one was Clean Spark, and this thing has really caught up. Look at that, 732. But check out the patterns. I mean, massive bullish weekly patterns. Clean Spark, 730. Target one's 1859. So just be aware that there are reasons why this stuff is, acting up like this. And even Clean Spark had, look, on the daily, they had a bearish pattern where we had the reaction and then the retest just blew through. Yeah, there's the prior arrow, and then straight on through. What was that, 550, now 730? Amazing. Amazing. Couple more on that. Let me circle back to a few of the other, look, our T coins. Something like this, like fetch, has to do something now off a pattern like that. But you've got a number of patterns. Another one was, sorry, I said Cosmos, Cardano. Oh, I wanted to look at Bitcoin Cash. Sorry, I knew I had something on my brain. So interesting, Bitcoin Cash after the massive 300%, 3x run in a week. Pausing up here. I wouldn't be surprised to see that thing pause at 30 days, for 30 days, as long as it holds 250. Is this going to start something bigger? That's what you're looking at in Bitcoin Cash. I don't care if that just nominally goes higher to new all-time highs. I want to see that thing continue. There was a shark down there too. There you go. There's the shark. But the HSI bullish signal on the daily that just registered up here has to hold for this to then push higher. If that does, I think that will then spread out. You'll see more and more of these really finally start to go. XRP, awesome. Like, finally. You really wanted to see that happen. It's not, it really is just a matter of time. I do believe it's a matter of time. I talked about this yesterday of why I thought the narrative that's coming back on the Bitcoin halving was going to be more than enough to entice people to get this to run, at least to retest the prior range. So we're going to have to do some waiting in here. A couple more. Here's Matic. Remember Matic? We were talking about that a while ago. Look at this on the daily. Where'd you go? Sorry. Here's Matic. Now at 80 cents. So that's another one of these patterns. I want to see Fetch do that, do the same. But nice type 1 here. Go to 91 cents on Matic. That's pretty sweet. Oh, you know the other one for Justin is Gala. Look at this. So these aren't totally left for dead yet. But maybe there's Gala, 2 cents. Could that be a floor? Would like to see that happen. Couple more. I mean, Phantom. Nice patterns here. So again, that's your most important job at this point. If this is a deep cycle, or even better, think of it this way. 1 month ago, June 21, we talked a lot about that. If that was a major cycle low, then any retracement, any check back with patterns is going to be a favorable situation, even if it takes time. I mean, I would prefer to see price action and things like that clearly stabilize and break out to get going. But we're in that spot. I mean, there's from a broader perspective, I've said this before, the second half of this year, much more favorable than the first half, so stay on it. Here's INJ. Oh, no, that wasn't the one I wanted to look at. Here's the one I wanted to look at. Render. Render's got a bunch of back-to-back, so, and it's holding up there at around $2. There you go. So looking for that. There you go. There's the bat pattern. Finish that back-to-back bat and return move back higher to the XA level. There are not many of these, but there are a handful of these that have been able to maintain some kind of uptrend since the January low. You know, you bottom down here at 41 cents. You go to almost $3. Now you're 2. Is this the beginning of something larger? Because look at the weekly time frame, and honestly, you're really, if you're looking for cycle movers, you're looking for things that can go back and retest or challenge prior all-time highs. And you would want to see some kind of progressive base that to continue. There's a bunch of these. I mean, Cosmos is another one, a real low one, but coming around. Here is Solana. So this is interesting. Solana's interesting. I really don't know what to make of it because it got crushed. And all the other improprieties, I guess, allegedly around it. I've always have been waiting for a check back to $12, $13. And no, actually it's 15 on that deep crab. Never got it. This crab has taken off on us. I'm going to watch it. Is this another one that kind of lights the way for something larger to break out in crypto? And that's what you want. Here's Stacks. I think this is an AI play. Where'd it go? Oh, it's wasn't this like a 4-hour bat down here? Yeah, something like, yeah, it's a shark. So big pattern right off the top. Again, you're looking for a lot of these that completed the move from January. Now they did the March to June correction, June 21. This should be something new. You know, this low, the secondary low, we should get progress, and then Stacks, you get above 90 cents, you can get this thing to start moving again. One or two more. Storage was, oh, look at that. That did a crazy thrust move. All right, but still in there. I mean, that did a crazy thrust move on the last retest. But storage down here, around 30, 32 cents, something like that. Yeah, that did a crazy thrust move. No continuation. Daniel's asking, would I buy now or wait for a pullback? Depends on what you're buying. I mean, we'll always get a pullback. We'll always get a setup. I just think it's, you know, the light switch has been turned on and we are, you know, in full gear here. I'm just waiting for this to catch a bid over in the crypto world, because the rest of the market, and we'll jump over to tech in a second, but look, crypto is, you know, if this thing starts going, it's going to be a free for all. It's going to make, you know, 2019 post or 2020 post COVID look tame. Couple more. How about this vet? Is this ever going to do anything? Well, I'd start looking. If vet is ever going to come off of this massive bat pattern, it would be down here. Expect this kind of ugly consolidation, and I think generally with vet, anything under the $2 level, excuse me, 2 cent level or 2.2 cent level is fair game. And we now have this weekly confirmation dot just triggered last week, 2 weeks ago, sorry. But you're there, and you expect this to do nothing and then start to explode like a lot of these are starting to do. XRP plus 30%, nice. Let's go back to there really quick. Yeah, XRP 26%. It was above 60, now you're 59. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing drop back down to 55. You need a 3-bar breakout, truly. You might get it today. But these are perking up. Okay, here's another one. You want Zcash, folks. Zcash has been sitting in the zone for a long time, and daily HSI just registered down here. So Zcash is a special one. I think you're down in the zone, looking good, 28, 29. Couple more. Here's Monero. I keep saying Monero a lot, bringing this up. It had some patterns back in October has these larger structures, 140, 135 area. You're 165, but look at the longer term chart, the weekly chart. This is a lot like Ethereum Classic. It's a butterfly. It's already a type 2. I think it's just a matter of time of where this tries to launch. Did the type 1, come back down. Look, type 2 is there, done, completed. No real confirmation yet, but every time we hit 135, it stabilizes. So that's still there. That could be a perfect one where, hey, if you're looking to buy, that's got everything you want to see. And then we go to Ethereum Classic because now that last move 2 months ago, maybe that was just the shakeout. Here's the weekly butterfly. Come on, give me the weekly butterfly. There you go. Weekly butterfly. To the right of the downtrend now. You're still under the XA level, which is 20 bucks. And hop level 1325 has held every test since that low at 13, 14, solid low. Under 20, you're targeting some kind of entry for sure. I think 17 was where we were talking about with that bat pattern. So there's a lot of this stuff coming together right now in a great spot where you want to see more Bitcoin Cash, XRP things develop. That will tell you, okay, those aren't going to be one-off events. And then some of the other patterns on the altcoins or T coins, there's Phantom. Again, bring that back. It's more stuff like that you want to be sizing up because you have something to the left of you with clear targets. And then the objective, or at least the easy thing will be, look, we get into position on some crypto thinking over the next 3 to 6 months that's the window of starting to really catch fire. And we get off of these lows, start making progress, and then accelerate. That's kind of the thing I'm saying with Bitcoin is we haven't realized the acceleration point. Not yet on crypto. That's above 32,000 for Bitcoin. And that could happen very soon, next few days, or the end of the month, or next month. Let's see. I would love to have seen this come down to 28,000. Another week of sideways action, and I will say, no, it's not going to do that. Keep an eye on all of that. Let's jump to the Qs, the NASDAQ, even the Dow, because we probably need to size up Dow stocks. Folks, look at this QQQ behavior. Let me remove everything here, patterns, everything. I'm impressed. I'm more impressed now than I was 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Another breakout just this week, even the last 30 days. Hey, take a look. All right, pretty spectacular formation. If we were going to connect dots, even just to the last 10, 15 days of action, it's pretty clear what we've got here. Deep crab to the 886. And this current move is a minimum 1618 move, if not a full 1902 to 2.0. What I'm saying is this breakout move is likely the move that gets you to the 886. And let's now bring in the weekly. Ben, look, how long have we been talking about the 886? Oh, let me do it this way. And that's our target. 886 on the Qs, actually on all markets. All the big ones that haven't reached there yet, that's what we're gunning for. This 886, again, 390 on the Qs. That's why this thing keeps going. Day over day, you're kind of looking at this like, wow, this thing is just a non-stop freight train. Yeah, because the target has completed what is typical BAM, bat action magnet move style behavior, acceleration. This is what we're looking for in Bitcoin, frankly. Just to, retrace the steps from this year. Many of you know since January, we've been way in front of this with all those patterns, all the mega tech. But the thing is look, here's the 382 level right about there. And I've said this time and time again that 382 retracement, especially after some kind of large decline, is going to take time. But once we kind of clear that and get above the 50 or 618 level, you generally take on a stronger acceleration. There's the 618 at 350, and we broke that. So that's why 886 is minimum, if not all-time new highs. No one's really looking at this from the way we are, we are the very, very small minority, but the framework is just serving it up market over market. The final thing that I've said with most of these major markets and the indices or the ETFs, we do have the shark configuration. That's a weekly. And that gets you to your 886, 1618 minimum as well. 390, 395. Our big top five, I'm going to have to probably change the order. I've always said Microsoft, been amazing. We're up here against the all-time 886, trying to threaten the breakout all-time new highs. We do have a yellow dot. We are overbought. Take a look. We're overbought on HSI. But what I'm looking at clearly is this. Is amplified RSI going to roll over? Is that some kind of divergence? It hasn't confirmed yet. And the thought that I have is we could get a high level HSI signal bullish, and we have on a couple of these stocks. So look, if this is just a pause and take a look at the last 20 sessions or so, daily chart from today, we've been mostly sideways. 30, there's 30. I expect that 30 bar resolution range to trigger another leg higher. And notwithstanding earnings coming July 25th, a week from Tuesday. So how do we play it? Looking more call options. Those of you that are in the Discord know that I've been posting a lot of setup. We just had a setup 2-3 days ago on Microsoft that was down here. It was 327 here, and let me bring up the patterns again so you can see. There you go. And we continue. This is the summer playbook. I did a whole session on summer playbook that we would continue to look for 5-minute opportunities just like this. And that hasn't changed. We had that one. So that's number one. Look, number two is still NVIDIA, and it's a monster. I mean, there's no way that we don't realize this all-time 1618. It's likely this year, and that's kind of a general call to say that. Let me bring this over here. Pretty easy at this point even to say, oh, that's going to go to a 1618 from that low to high, or excuse me, high to low. It looks like this. All-time high there. There's your XA. 1618 is like 495 there. It's like that. But what if it's a super breakout, which I think this is, and it's a super blow off top? Well, that's not a 1618, folks. Technically speaking, that's a 314. Okay, so you're looking at this thing, in my opinion, where let's take a look at what's right there. It's around 470, I'd guess. But if we're really going to explode on NVIDIA, and we'll know very soon, okay, a 314 all-time is, I won't even say the number, but that is not out of the realm of possibility. That's why seeing what I'm seeing currently, and I've been saying this ever since NVIDIA did the massive blowout from 300 to 400, okay, that this was the start of something bigger. Keep an eye on all of that. Also, your weekly readings just continue to stay in the extreme. I mean, the fact that you're turning up at a high level, huge. That's continuation all over it. Number, what was that? Number 3 now? It was Apple. We've got to give it to Meta. I mean, look at this stuff on Meta. 315, folks. We were hoping for Target 2 at 296. You're 20 higher. At that point, you just look at the target and say, that's a massive blowout through the level, hitting the number in extreme price action. My next level is all-time 886. There's no reason why we don't go there. 350 on Meta. It does see, Evan says it's right. Yeah, I mean, Evan's saying it's crazy, but it's not. And if you want to go back to what we were saying in late January, early February, that'll give you a lot of perspective because we were staring these things in the face. We were staring back down here. Oh, is that a major pattern? Well, let's just assume we go to target 1. And over the last 6 months, we have stair-stepped our way not only straight through target 1, but straight through target 2 to where this is a massive type 1 explosion. They're not common, but pretty, exhibit clear signs like this, like an extraordinary rip of higher highs, higher lows, blow through the levels, blow through any kind of consideration of potential bearish resistance. That's the deal on Meta, 350. And I think the easiest way for everyone to remember this is just get the general numbers up in your brain. And a lot of them we have been calling. We said 295 for Meta. Now it's 350. Number 4, let's go Netflix. I think this got a long way to go. Why? Because you have a prior bearish pattern up here at 540. Likely we see this as a big looping retest. And the other deal on Netflix. I mentioned this many times that with all of those others recouping their bear market range, we're only at the 50% level at 440 on Netflix. Minimum at this point, you go to 500 at the 618. Minimum 500. And then that collides with other harmonic resistance at 541. Yes, we can do this. We can do this in this kind of a run. We use the patterns not only as a zone for execution, but if we're clearly en route to certain targets exhibiting that behavior, yeah, we will build those levels into our possible objectives. Planning, I think you got to plan. There's been a few 5-minute pullbacks, and that's still the summer playbook. Look, just at the end of June, there was that shark pattern, and that's real time, regular trading hours. Here's the extended, which you're going to get a few more. But just last week, 413 had a bat similar to the other one. And then just a few days ago, we had this bat pattern, another bat pattern, just sell it off and then explode through. The other thing about Netflix that I've mentioned previously, we are sitting in a bearish zone. All right, but we had a counter trend bullish HSI signal right there. And that was around 420. We said, okay, 440, 450. Now we're at 450. Are we going to fail this? And I'm not too concerned about, the pattern yet being a bearish signal. In fact, the amount of time up here and the way that this seems to be on a rope there, we break above and close above 450. You've got a 30-point gap to shoot, folks. So and as a short-term trader, I'll be looking for those option contracts to give us fat patterns to go on. I mean, here's Netflix right now. I posted this morning, down to 442, and then go back retest 450. I don't know, somebody's got to, where is that? I'll have to pull it up in a minute. But again, this was a summer playbook months ago. And we're going to stick with it. But soon we're going to expand it out to other markets. Crypto. Let's look for those signs in crypto. And I'm telling you, if you're looking for a favorable environment, it's coming, and it's coming really soon. And it's going to last for the next 15 months. We're going to be riding this into the presidential election here in the United States come November. And God knows what, you could have follow through into January. It's just lining up. And I think what's happening quickly is that if we break out to all-time new highs and these stocks continue to rip, people are going to chase them. They'll have FOMO again that makes 2020 look tame. Couple more. That's Netflix. We did Meta. How about Amazon? How about Google? Because those were two others on Tuesday that are up huge. Okay, we were back there on Tuesday, 127 on Amazon. We had this. It was down here. Oh yeah, right back down here. Look, there's our arrows. Type 2 shark. And we had patterns in the option contracts as well. That was, yeah, it was Monday, Tuesday. And take a look at what Amazon's doing, where Amazon's another one has yet to really accelerate, but I think soon. And I think you're going to do a big fat candle this week, and 147 is target 2. There's nothing there until we get to that target 2 or make a run for it. HSI trying to roll over, but you're still a few weeks away. Big stuff. Big, 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 big. Google. Google's another one where, that the long at 93, down here, it was a weekly and a daily. So you're right back to target 2. Beautiful fat pattern on Google. If this is going to do more than the reaction, the obvious move is weekly breakout above 125, 88, 126 to then go not only 886, but all-time new highs. There's just really not a heck of a lot sitting there to suggest why wouldn't that at least make a run. Your 886 is 143, 144. But the bigger scenario that I think, I've said this before, we should all be planning for, especially with a move like this, is we get like this, maybe this likely becomes a 1618 for all of these that haven't gone there yet. And it's probably by next year. You do a 1618, then you do a little 382 pullback or something and go again. But that would be your framework for a longer term expectation going into next year. The new presidential cycle, if we get a new president or not, really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Presidential years are good on the whole, and then if a whole bunch of other scenarios can play out depending on who gets elected, but regardless, you're going to have a lot of action and activity going into the next 12 months. If you made it this far, keep hanging. It's only going to get more intense. Couple more. So then we have the second tier, folks. And I think this is where your opportunities really lie. Let's go Shopify. And many like these. Shopify's, I talked about that last week. Big breakout here, weekly. This was a daily pattern. This is a crab right now. I think I'm confusing this with PayPal. But even with Shopify doing what it's doing, run to 75. It is PayPal though. PayPal was a 3 ideas for our crew recently, and I think this is the start. If you're not on it yet, it's a beautiful type 2 alternate bat, and target 2 for PayPal is 89 now. And that's minimum. This is one of these long-term bear market disasters that just broke out of that extended downtrend. I mean, that's a sweet position, folks. A couple of more that are like this, that have done that. Let's go to Kathy Wood and impressive. All those patterns down there. But now what Kathy's doing is breaking out of the downtrend finally. So that's another one. Can be looking at that where you can expect more now than a month ago. Couple more. Couple more. Hey, we didn't even look at, did I even look at Apple? I don't even think I looked at Apple. Just because maybe not as sexy as the other ones, but this was the thing I wanted to point out. We had a high level HSI signal just yesterday. That's critical. Most of you know who have any experience with the software that we expect that to drive it higher within the bearish zone, whatever the counter trend is, go higher, maybe as high as 206 to the hop level. I think we get back to 195 and pretty soon. So look at that, just understand you've got a few things going on there. Extended hours we did have a couple days ago. Yeah. Well, that was yesterday, that little tiny 5-minute butterfly. I had some things. No, it escapes me here for the moment. Come back to that. But Apple's still, that still really is a top 5. I haven't even looked at the QQQ. So QQQ 37. Oh, we did look at the QQQ, but 377. But for today, there's a 5-minute chart. Big deep crab right now, so kind of tough to be longing anything with confirmation here. But this 5-minute, perfect example. There's a counter trend HSI on the 5-minute, and this is exactly what I'm expecting Apple to do on the daily. Drive it higher into the zone for more consolidation before I see that do anything. Interesting one. I'm missing one. Oh, Intel. Okay, another 3 ideas for our Harmonic Trader Premium members. We had a recent retest down here at 32. Continue to accumulate this thing. All right, down here we had a back-to-back. You have a number of patterns down here in the 4-hour chart. But we had a butterfly at 31.40 is the low. That should be the low. I don't expect Intel to be under 30. Period. Do we come back down for one more retest? Either way, I think we're in a development to go at least to 36, as high as 38. Earnings 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today. So, no. Yes, Square, another good one, starting to really move. Another one, just if you're not in it yet, look, you'll get opportunities. Check out the 4-hour. Last one was a shark at 63, 66 area. I like these. I like them all. And most of my members know that I've been just dishing out long opportunities, long positions. And there's the deal on Block or Square, whatever. It's another one of these long-term 80%, 75% corrective moves straight out of 2003 or 2009. And now we're going to start the march back up to target 1 because we've seen so many of the other ones do that exact move. I've been saying this for a while. I talked about the summer playbook a month or 2 ago of what we would be looking at, and it's working out, probably even faster than I anticipated. A couple more. What's going on? Hey, CJ wants to look at Bill. What do you guys like? A lot of people like that one. What's special about that? Bill Holdings, another high flyer. Some patterns down at 68, but it's now 126. Keep an eye on that one. That's a lot like, so let's get into the other spec plays. Rivian was another one where we were smack on that at 14, now 26. What do? We're checking back HSI, so we've got to watch it in here. Watch it for a breakdown. Target 1 we were looking for 2290, 2280. Can we get to target 2 here? You're still a couple days from a yellow dot. Some of those other ones, I think, like Neo and Lucid. Here's Lucid got smacked, but probably look back here for maybe a type 2 on the crab. I don't know. There's a lot of patterns though down there where a lot of these, it's a type 2. It's a 2 of 2. The downtrend is trying to break out. So we've seen this in a number of different patterns and charts. That's another one. Neo, same deal. So something about those EVs. These kind of remind me of the crypto miners 4 months ago, 3, 4 months ago. There's Neo. Again, you're down here in the $9, $8, $9, $10 level to go to 17. A couple more. Special situations like Carvana. What the heck? That's amazing. And I was saying just last week I thought it could go to 50, up to 50. Almost got there. Yeah, I have to just wait on the 5-minute setups. Anything there? There was something like a week ago. Yeah, a small pattern in Carvana back here. 23, 24. Not a heck of a lot though. I mean, you're just day trading that one. It's so far gone already, but that was fairly remarkable. You had a big. What was the daily pattern down there? To come back to that, there was something down there. I forget. Anyway, one or two more, and I just want to highlight within all this craziness. Okay, we're getting a really great action in your slow, boring stocks. I flashed this last time. I can't believe I took it off, but things like Philip Morris, Chevron, others, really acting well, super smooth. Hit the levels, spend a day or two, then turn around, and there you go. So I'm going to highlight a few more of these that are like that. That's just a sweet type 2 with another bat. Exploded through target 1. And we were looking, around 91 to go to 95. And here we are, 99. I think go to 100 and change, 101. But it's more an example of things that are taking longer, but just as nice. Here's another one. I think I mentioned this last time, Agilent. And it's a big weekly 2 of 2. That's why it's really not doing much here, but confirmation, yellow dot. I highlighted this last week for some members. Under 120, 115 to 120, you're there. You might take more time. You might have a little drawdown, but you got to like the spot. Nice big correction and a secondary test. A couple more. You guys did like Under Armour, and Kyle is bringing that up for today. And we had big patterns down there, but this is a low floater. What does that mean? Low volume, low price. Maybe this will pick up. It is a 2 of 2, so we are certainly scraping absolute lows for this. Where off of that deep crab, you had a type 1, came down for the 2. There's a couple things you could go off of, but generally the levels are really more like 13 or 15, and you're at $8. But confirmation is bunching down here at around 7 to 8. It's worth a shot. I do. Somebody brought that up. It wasn't my idea, but I do like all of the patterns, hop levels. I mean, even if it went to 5, I don't think it's going under 5, and you're looking for this to go back to static resistance at 25. Nice one. It's a nice one. Couple of more. You know what? The other one I'm looking at? I was on this earlier in the year, and it didn't do my move, and now it looks like it's doing the move. Snap. I took a huge chunk loss on options. I caught a great move on the stock. This is earlier in the year, and then didn't get the follow through. Well, that's probably starting something now because we're new highs for the year. Target one at 45. One of the thoughts for this kind of a play is that with the election coming up, Snap is going to get funneled a ton of money for elections. So the environment is going to increase dramatically for this kind of a company. I would be looking at this, now. Hopefully it doesn't get away from us. We had some patterns. I was probably sleeping on this back in May, and I'm watching what it does at 13 because it's, forget above 14, it's gone. I thought that was really interesting. The other one, Peloton, another concept stock that got just annihilated. And look, bat pattern down here, confirmation. I brought this up like 2 weeks ago around 750, and I said, meh, I don't really like that. It's not crazy. Well, now, I better start liking it because that's a type 1, goes to 12 bucks. I think there's been so many better opportunities that these are kind of hard to really get into when there's other better plays than, some treadmill or stationary bike company. So, okay. Oh, Vestige for the 4th time. You wanted to look at BABA? Sure. BABA, these are nice. From our perspective, the major situation is you had a pattern at 117, and we have based for the whole year at 82. This was yet another 3 ideas that I mentioned over a month ago. We were on that around 84 bucks. And I say 117.60. Look at BABA on the weekly. So these Chinese ADRs. Yeah, they're in a good position. I'm not normally going to, get involved with anything like that, but they're in a really nice position. That one, and here's the other one, JD.com. This was another one, 38.95. Look at the bat pattern, folks. And it's a perfect type 2. Look, type 1, bang, 36 to 60, right back. Now we can expect the larger situation. Yellow dot, confirmation at 32, 33, you're 39. Look for the breakout. All right, I'll wrap up on stocks, and then I will dip into the currencies just for you guys. It's Thursday. UNH. Ooh, nice one. Who put that up? Bird Dog, thank you. Bird Dog, here's another one. Here's a forever stock. One of the best performing stocks in the last decade or more. Printing a bullish pattern inside this insane uptrend. So I would look at that around, 450 you start looking. 418's the hop level. Where are we? Are we oversold? Not yet. But that is one that's coming down that I like. Keep an eye on that one. I think that's a kind of a forever stock. And here was a forever stock from before. I mentioned this earlier last year, and it just keeps on rocking, is Pepsi. And I don't, this one goes to all-time new highs from here. There you go. And we were on that at 156. Way back here. So we were on that one. And again, this is the slow-moving slug stocks. Super smooth, beautiful patterns. Here's Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola right now is a type 2, folks. It's range-bound, but it's retesting that deep crab at 59. Should get it back to 65. Retest the shark. Those can be nice as the high flyers because they really are contained within a range. Lot going on. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity here. And I would just size it up quickly. Brandon is saying, yeah, the 3M. The forever stock of 3M. Well, 3M was, yeah, we were looking at 3M all the way down here, 104, 100 range. It's just an overspill move. I think 3M is still, and I haven't even talked about the Dow. These were the lines we drew from last time, and 3M I think is still a valid opportunity. You've got a couple of patterns down here generally, but you're oversold majorly. And if this, and I think it will. So here are the diamonds, and here, to think about a lot of these. Diamonds are trying to break out after just the most mild correction during what seemed to be a bear market. Still say that the 886 is the level. I mean, the Dow is only up 3-4% for the year. Pretty remarkable. But there's your 886. And so that's why you haven't seen the full onslaught yet. Imagine if these start really perking up, 360, 359. That's why things like 3M haven't taken off, or even to a lesser extent, what was the other one? On the other side, Chevron. We're looking for the oils to do something down here. There's Chevron with a type 2 Gartley. That's in the Dow. But I think these need time. I think you got a lot of the existing fear on rates and the economy still, and so people are favoring tech, but this stuff's holding. It's fairly impressive, even though it's not doing much. It's still impressive. Evan's saying XRP is going to change his life. It very well could. I think the next year could change a lot of people's lives. XRP, 63 cents, my man. Look at that. 5-minute massive breakout on XRP. Congrats. I know you've been on that for a long time, and that, we've been on that, just saying it's going to take a long time. Above 55 cents is acceleration point. We want to see this. And if it's a for real move, talk to me at 93 cents sooner than later. Nice. Couple more here. Let's go Valero. Yes, we can look at that one because that's just down there off of these patterns. Doesn't seem like it's doing much. That's okay. Taking its time. I still like it. 110. 107 is your XA level down low. XLE, energy, folks. It's like this. Trying to pop off of that type 2 that was perfect. Okay, not bad. Energy hasn't done much yet, but I'm watching it closely because remember, we do have at generally the 70 level on crude futures. Let's get to the futures here. There you go. So we do have some patterns down here that done nothing. It's been a dud for a while, but can we break out of the downtrend against the pattern? It's a common event that has to happen once you complete a pattern. Can you break out of the main pattern downtrend, the CD leg usually? It's like that or that. So we're still early with that. But it's nice. S&P is up 27 and change. The Qs are up almost 5. Let me keep going. Couple more. Quick peek at gold. And we've been saying 1830 or so was our longer term target. Trying to pop here. What's going on? I did see, I think it was AU, Anglo Ashanti daily. I thought we had some patterns down there. Hold on, I got to come back to this. Oh, we had some weekly oversold readings in some of these gold miners. They haven't done a lot, but AU is certainly, there's your long-term chart of it. If gold's really going to bust out, these have to move. One or two more, I think kind of related. You got to look at the banks. So we talked about major patterns in the banks, especially things like Bank of America. And take a look. It was a type 2, it's a butterfly. It is a type 2 butterfly that just generated yellow dot. 2680 was your XA level. And you're looking for that. We've got earnings, what's that? Tuesday. Tuesday. So, and this should get you to 33.91. So, looking for a positive outcome on banks, without a doubt. Some of those that were extremely beaten up, like KeyCorp, take a look. Weekly, is it weekly or monthly? Weekly shark pattern at 961. And here's the thing about KeyCorp. It's another 3 ideas. Confirmation came in 6 weeks ago, and you're turning around exactly where you need to be. I like that. I like what's taking shape there. Yeah, 1 or 2 more. What's the other one? Oh, okay. So Western Alliance, that was one of the banks they thought could go under. And you got to go to the monthly chart. This is where I start to look at the banks and say, all right, maybe there's something interesting here. We had this all-time bat pattern on WAL, not to mention one other one, Schwab, which is fairly mainstream. Check this out. It's a type 1 off of that monthly crab. Perfect confirmation, everything. I think it's done. I think that's in. Reaction over. Here's daily. Maybe it was a weekly. Sorry. There it is. It's a weekly Gartley. Definitely a weekly Gartley here. And I've brought that up before, that bodes well. I mean, you got a pattern like that at your back, 64.50. A lot of things here, folks. I mean, it is impressive. You stack patterns behind you. You look at these follow-through moves. It's just, it really is impressive action. All right, let's give away a gold membership. You guys have hung in there quite well. GOLD, first one to type that in. You'll get a gold membership, and you'll be able to join us on next Friday for our longer-term options presentation. Yep, I'll be posting on that. Stephanie, I'll get that to you as well. So I think that's what I've got it for today. Geo, you win the gold. You have to contact Miss Stephanie over in the Discord and get hooked up with the gold membership. Also, folks, go over to harmonictrader.com and access the basic membership page. Get with at least that one software. The other software I've been using for options is eSignal. So few were asking about that. There's free trials to all of them. Join us there. And the gold members, silver members, all you guys can attend the option presentation next week. It's probably going to be about, go about 2 hours. And we'll line up some opportunities beforehand as well. All right, you guys have any other questions, reach out to me on the Discord. Until then, have a great weekend. And as always, go get them. We'll see you on Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern. Take care. Have a great weekend. See you guys.